Hello again guys, this is your boy Joe for another Outworld Encounters video. On this game hunting episode, I am going to show you my very first game hunting experience in Tokyo, Japan.
Okay, welcome guys to Akihabara.
My wife and I decided to spend our 5-day honeymoon here in Japan, and being the loving and understanding lady that she is, she agreed to let me spend 48 hours of game hunting while we are at the capital. I have captured over 60 minutes of footage, and after re-watching all of them for editing, it was a bit hard on what shots to include in the final cut. I don't want to bore you with too much, so I will make this video as short as possible.
We will go to Super Potato first, although there's the Sega building right there. Oh my god, this is Super Potato right here. Okay, let's go up.
We figured to go to Super Potato first because I got the feeling we would be spending a lot more time there than anywhere else. So here we are, Super Potato Akihabara branch.
So this is the third floor of Super Potato. Third floor.
Of course, you cannot go game hunting in Tokyo, Japan without visiting Super Potato in Akihabara.
Oh my god. To be honest guys, there's so much stuff. I'm not even sure what to get. Oh well. Okay, now we're at the fourth floor of Super Potato.
Game inventory wise, they focus more on retro games.
Ooh. Personal bar.
The most modern games that I saw were from the PS3 and Xbox 360 systems.
Complete guide. Perfect catalog of Sega Saturn. Perfect catalog of Game Boy.
If you are looking for a specific kind of game, there is a good chance it would be here. Keep in mind, their prestige might have spiked their price tags, as games and consoles here are quite pricey. I would say this place is a good start as a reference point for what games are worth getting.
Dreamcast t-shirts.
It took me over an hour just to browse the Japanese titles that they have on their shelves. If you have the time and money for video games, you would enjoy it here.
We're in the fifth floor of Super Potato.
In the end, I took note of the stuff I wanted from this place and decided to come back again by the end of the actual game hunting.
Just an arcade and a snack shop. That's it. Nothing much to see here.
The plan was to do the game hunting in Akihabara on our second day starting 9 AM. I wanted to be efficient about it, so using Google Maps, I drafted a mini-map of the top 10 shops to visit according to other vlogs and forums. However, we did not limit ourselves on these shops since there might be other places that have interesting deals and inventory as we loitered around.
Okay guys, first stop is Surugaya Specialty Store. Okay, let's go downstairs.
There are a few Surugaya branches around Akihabara, but this one in particular is the nearest from the train station. Their games are cheaper than Super Potato. Their game inventory is primarily used and old stock titles from the Nintendo Family Computer up to the Sony PS4.
Okay, next we're going to...
There are 3 traders in Akihabara, and Trader 2 is the closest from Surugaya. The inventory is from the 5th generation up to the PS4. Too bad the games are not cheap.
Okay, up next is Sofmap. Okay, we are here.
Close to Trader 2 is the Sofmap Mall.
Both their games are here. Vanguard X.
Take the elevator to the 4th floor and the games are there.
The prices are still a bit pricey actually.
Their games are from the 5th generation up to the PS4.
Their inventory is quite extensive,
Yes,
but
the
the
games.
prices are reasonable
Let's take-
for the older
PSP
games.
Okay guys, we got Mandarake.
Walk a bit more from Sofmap and you will reach the olive green building that is Mandarake. Take the elevator to their 6th floor and the games are there. As the doors open, the place looks like a mini library of 3rd generation up to the 7th generation video games. All games are enclosed in plastic cases to keep them in mint condition, which explains the hefty prices.
Just next to Mandarake, we got Hard Off.
Next to Mandarake is Hard Off. There are a couple of Hard Off branches in Akihabara, but I believe there are others nationwide. By definition, Hard Off is mostly a thrift shop of old and used appliances and hardware items. Go at the basement and you will see some video game consoles. They also have some video games, but their inventory tends to change from time to time. The prices are not too shabby if you are interested on whatever they have to offer.
So we got Retro Game Camp next. You know it's Retro Game Camp if you hear The Legend of Zelda music playing.
Not so far away from Hard Off is Retro Game Camp. Having said that, we almost missed it because the door and stairs leading down to it is a bit narrow.
I think that's Tales of Destiny playing.
Video games and consoles galore from the 3rd to the 8th generation. Keep in mind, their cartridge-based games like the Super Famicom can be expensive since they tend to keep the batteries fresh for proper game saving. Out of the shops we visited, this shop would be the 3rd priciest in terms of video games in Akihabara.
This is one of the extension shops of Retro Game Camp. A lot of loose and boxed titles here from Famicom and Super Famicom.
Just beside the main store is the extension. If the game you are looking for is not down there, then try browsing here.
3x3 eyes.
For the most part, their inventory here is really not that different from what they have in the main shop. I found some interesting titles in Retro Game Camp, but I was reluctant to buy them because of their price tags.
Okay, next up, Friends. Don't let the advertisements on the doors fool you. They are usually found on the 2nd floor.
Friends is a used video game shop inside of a building a few minutes north of Retro Game Camp and can be found at the 2nd and 3rd floors. Their video game inventory is from the 3rd up to the 6th generation. The prices depend on the quality, rarity, and age of the games. Over the years, video game vloggers have come to this place that the owners of the shop got so fed up of the free publicity that they no longer allow cameras within the property. Because of that, I'm just showing you some stock footage of Akihabara at dusk.
Okay, next up, Surugaya Specialty Store.
This Surugaya shop is the closest from Friends,
Okay, this
right
is
next to
Surugaya.
Beep. From the 3rd generation to the 8th, the video game inventory here is as extensive as the first one we visited, but not entirely the same. A lot of used and old stock games, loose and boxed games, a lot of refurbished consoles as well. Being Surugaya, the prices are among the cheapest that we found. Another thing about Surugaya, they will also charge 5 to 10% tax on every single item you purchase. I cannot stress that enough. At this time, we have lost daylight already and we only have visited at least 8 shops. To end the day, we decided to head to Book Off.
And these guys are the collection in Book Off.
This Book Off is the nearest to the Akihabara station. Like Hard Off, they are located nationwide. Originally a thrift shop for used books, Book Off sells old and new video games with varying prices.
Top Boy, guys.
Top Boy is a video game retail shop closest to Akamata Station, where incidentally, this shop is only around the corner from where our hotel is located.
Bahamut Lagut for 1080. Nice.
At the time of this recording, the shop focuses more on the 8th generation video games. They also have a modest-sized library of older games with prices as competitive as the ones in Akihabara.
Ooh, get buffers.
The more pricey games are inside the glass cases. Old stock games with plastics still intact. If we had a bit more cash with us, I could have bought more titles from here.
Yes,
If you are close to Kamata, give this place a shot and you might surprise yourself on what you may find.
Book Off, everyone.
Right across the street from Top Boy is Book Off Kamata. They have video games from the 4th up to the 8th generation. Their inventory is almost as big as the one in Akihabara but a bit cheaper. Give this place a visit after Top Boy if you are near Kamata. A couple of minutes away from Omori Station is Book Off Super BAZAAR. This Book Off is arguably the biggest Book Off branch that we have visited. They have video games from the 3rd up to the 8th generation. They also sell some video game consoles and accessories. I didn't include it here in the video, but this strip shop also sells a lot of toys like action figures, dolls, Transformers, and Gundams. Just in case I did not mention it already, all Book Offs, including this one, will also charge you 5 to 10% tax on each single item you purchase, cash or charge.
Hey guys, we are here at the Super Potato Ikebukuro branch.
We started at Super Potato and we will end at Super Potato, this time in Ikebukuro. The shop is not as big as its Akihabara counterpart, but the prices here is as high. Their video game inventory ranges from the 3rd up to the 7th generation. Some are rare titles and some titles I have already seen in the previous shops. Nevertheless, it was easy to disregard the price tags just to have the games I ignored before. To be honest, I am more interested in their refurbished video game consoles and accessories. Since this is the last shop we visited, I mustered all of my self-control I had in my body and focused on finding the one thing that brought us here in the first place: a Sony Pocket Station for the PS1. Will we ever find one here? Stay tuned to find out. Here we are right now at the Man Cave, back again from Japan, from Tokyo, Japan. I'm here to show you guys all of the merchandise, all of the games that I got touring the capital. Here we go. So this one is from Book Off, Tales of Eternia for the PSP, Tales of the World for the PSP. This one here is another Book Off bag. I got, this is Legend of Heroes, Legend of Heroes SC, Tales of the World Radiant Mythology 3. This one here got from Top Boy Kamata, and I got Tales of the World Radiant Mythology from Sofmap Akihabara. I got Tales of Innocence R for the PS Vita, Tales of Hearts for the Nintendo DS, Tales of Innocence for the DS, The Legend of Heroes Ao no Kiseki, still in plastic, The Legend of Heroes Zero no Kiseki, The Legend of Heroes FC. I think this is the predecessor from the first one. Tales of Fantasia X for the PSP. There you go. So all of them PSP games. This one here is from Surugaya Specialty Store in Akihabara. This one here, Legend of Heroes the PS3 version of The Legend of Heroes SC for the PS3, the Legend of Heroes FC HD edition for the PS3. There you go. And the Legend of Heroes 3rd HD edition for the PS3. There you go. Tales of Symphonia for the PS2. And this one, for some reason, I don't know why this was hiding in their shelves. I got John the Ark NTSC-US for the PSP, still in plastic. Okay, next up, another one from Surugaya. Tales of Rebirth for the PSP, Shining Hearts for the PSP, Dragon Quest for the SNE, for the Super Famicom, Dragon Quest 1 and 2. I got Tales of Fantasia, the first one for the Super Famicom, Star Ocean for the first Star Ocean for the Super Famicom, still in plastic. From Super Potato, of course. This one here is from Super Potato, yeah. So I got a Pro Action Replay for the Game Boy Advance. This one here is the Pro Action Replay for the Super Famicom / it's also compatible for the Super NES. Action Replay, still in plastic. Pro Action Replay for the Nintendo 3DS. It's right here. Still in plastic. I got some Super Potato, I don't know, bag clippers, I guess. This one here is just a Super Potato t-shirt. Buds, this is for you. And of course, this one here is the Super Potato from Ikebukuro. I got Tales of Versus, Tales of Fantasia for the PSP. So both are PSP games. Pocket Station. It's not really for me. My brother-in-law was looking for one, so I'm giving this to him as well. Card Fight Vanguard. Stride to Victory for the 3DS. I got this one at Book of Shinjuku. I'm a big fan of the Card Fight series. It's not really a video game, but I got myself an Endless Waltz Gundam Wing Zero Custom Gunpla that I got at Sofmap Akihabara. So yeah, that's it. Most of the games that I got are all Tales games and Legend of Heroes, the Japanese exclusive games anyway. So for all of you guys who are new to my channel, be sure to leave a link, like and subscribe, and be sure to hit that notification for future content. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.